Hey, David, when we were last talking, man, we were talking about trust and how you can't get it into a contract. And so, what they're going to be handling your money, like you talked about. And they got your signature, probably power of attorney. So, and by the way, for catching up those who didn't listen to the last post, we're talking about the things that aren't in a contract. There's really two major things. One's trust. And we're talking about the trust issue right now. Is there a way a mechanism we can use to help us develop some trust around the fact that they're handling our money?
Well, there's two major things. One, and I always put this in every contract, manager, whomever, cannot commingle their money with your money. In other words, the artist's money with anybody else. In other words, they can't throw different artists in the same pot or the money into their own account. It gets harder to separate. So we say do not commingle. But the main thing I like to do is who's collecting the money. And my thing is I like to make, usually it compromises a mutually agreed upon third party, which somebody you both sides agree to handle the money. Sometimes they're called a business manager, and you better check them out too. But you need somebody that you both can trust to handle the money, and that's an art in itself, knowing how to handle money, dealing with these companies that can't even handle their own money. You know, I mean, seriously.
Gotcha. So, if we type in Bernie Madoff or something like that, we get some...
One for yourself.
That one is probably not the person we want to be our business managers, as an example. Okay. Gotcha. And if there's a Bernie Madoff that's not the infamous Bernie Madoff, they might still be the okay guy. We got to make sure we
have to put our disclaimers in there.
Yeah. I had somebody send me an email the other day that said that there's another Ryan Michael Galloway from Dallas, Texas. So I guess
you gotta be kidding me.
No. And
oh my God,
and they're diametrically opposed to me in about every way, politically and everything. Yeah, it's really funny. They're probably.
Let's move on.
Anyway, yeah, it's funny. So make sure you get the right person once you start checking them out too.
Oh yeah,
all
definitely.
Right?
The right Ryan Michael Galloway.
So is there, before we cap that off and go on to the next post, is there anything else we could add around the money handling? We think we got it covered.
The main things is, if they're willing to let somebody else, to handle the money you can trust, that handles a big thing.
Yeah.
And the power of attorney, you've got to really limit them. That's very important on the trust issue. You got to limit. Usually we put in something like maybe short-term gigs. You don't want to have to sign for everything as an artist. I mean, that's ridiculous too.
Right.
You don't want to okay everything. You could be in Timbuktu traveling, touring and stuff like that. You don't want to have to deal with that every day. The best thing is, keep it really short. Like I usually do things. The same thing is any contract over 3 months in length. Now, all major contracts are over 3 months in length, whether it's a songwriting contract with a publisher, a record company. No record company's going to sign you for less than 3 months. I mean, so if you say, use that as a thing, I mean, you can even use 6 months because, I mean, if you put in an escape clause, it'll be 6 months, really, to get out of whatever.
Gotcha. And, one of the things that I might remind everybody is when you sign, for instance, with a manager, that a manager only makes money if you make money. And so they may want to work you. Yeah.
Should be. A lot of managers now trying to get money up front. A lot of them.
Man, we don't do that.
No.
Yeah.
If any manager or publisher or a record company asks you for money, they ain't legit.
Yeah. But on the other side of it, if they are making money off of what you make, which is a legitimate thing, remember that they're going to want to work you to death. And so you've got to understand that they're working for you, not you working for them, and be able to say no sometimes. And so, if they don't respect that, you might have to restrict that power of attorney a little more than you would otherwise. So again, we get back to that trust issue.
What you could do is that's a good point. You can specify if you cannot come to an agreement, a mutually agreed upon third party will help make the decision with the artist's best interest in heart, and mind and hand. That's a good one. Very good.
Cool. We'll wrap it and come on back with another one. Thanks, David. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.
Everybody keep watching.
Bye-bye.